Uh, hey everyone, how's it going? We are back with pACT podcasting for all coming together.
Bring me home, out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
We have a ton to get to because we haven't been here for a little bit. With the wedding, with everything else going on, things just got a little spooky around here. So we are back. We're back live. We're back, well, somewhat live. I guess you're as live as I can get right now. So we're live yet recorded because all of our interviews are recorded tonight. But you know what? That doesn't make them any less important. We are going to have three, possibly four. We might replay um, one of the interviews that we played briefly a couple weeks ago, and bring it back to life because there was a lot of great information, and she's got a lot of great stuff going with Melanie. Whoa, Kura. So, and besides that, I didn't screw up her name this time, so I think that we need to do that. So. The first one that we're going to be bringing up is an interview I had today with one of our partners. She's been one of our partners since earlier this year, and she works with Pampered Chef. And I'm not sure if you know much about Pampered Chef, but they do have a lot of great products. Let's first off say that, and second off, she brings up a great point. You know, everybody always talks about how, whoa, the price, the price, the price. Well, folks, everything costs. There's a price for everything. There's a cost for everything, and people need to decide. Well, do I want to eat healthy? Do I want to cook at home? Do I want to go out and spend tons of money on food that you don't see getting prepared? You don't know exactly where the food comes from. You don't buy it yourself, and you don't prepare it yourself. And as a guy who cooked for a lot of years, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times, not seeing what you cook could be a problem. We all heard the saying that the customer is always right. No, they're not. And a cook believes that. They truly do. And you want a rare steak, you need to make it yourself. You want a medium rare steak, you need to make it yourself. Uh, Me as a cook, just going to flat out say it. I don't believe in the term medium well. You either want a medium steak or a well done steak. There's no such thing as medium well. Which one do you want? Do you want medium or do you want beef jerky? Your choice. So that's just kind of one of the crazy things that goes through a cook's head. Oh, and you two-till people, you're not one of our favorite people in the world. So, but I'm really excited about this interview because we, on the spur of the moment, we just decided that we're going to go on ahead and do an event this coming up November, which is going to go a long way towards helping our event that we are going to introduce tonight. That is the finally fifth annual Chili Cook-Off and Toy Drive right here in Colorado. So all of you here in Colorado, please make sure that you pay attention to our pages because it is going to be announced. The date we're looking at is November 13th. As you guys all know, this coincides with a certain Colorado football team that's going to be playing on the road. We are going to do something different this year, though. And this is going to be exciting. It's extremely exciting. We've done this once before, and it was a really good time. We're going to be adding a Texas Hold'em tournament to this. So we're going to have Chili Cook-Off, Toy Drive, Texas Hold'em tournament. So a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, and then there's that game that you guys can watch, too. A lot of fun stuff going on, a lot of fun stuff happening, a lot of great things going on. So make sure that you join us. If you're in the Colorado area, it's up here in Greeley with one of our longtime partners, brothers, great friends, just one of the good people involved in what we do, and that's Soterios. And we're going to be at Key Largo Lounge, located at 3621 West 10th Street, right here in Greeley. That's 3621 West 10th Street in Greeley for the finally fifth annual Chili Cook-Off and Toy Drive. But as I've stated before, we do have a couple of interviews that we're going to be talking about, that we're going to be playing today. One of them is with Caroline Rasmussen, who is our lady who is part of our Mall-in-One. Please make sure that you check out our Mall-in-One. It's full of a bunch of stuff. It's full of a bunch of great things. And you can get everything from the dollar store to detox, wonderful product that is their leaves that are made into a disposable plate. What makes them better than normal plates is that they not only are not made out of paper or not made out of styrofoam, they're biodegradable. They're made out of palm leaves. What does that mean? You use them once or twice, gently wash them off, and then you can dispose of them in your garden as compost. So there's all kinds of great things that you can do with wow, I didn't see that coming. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with our Mall-in-One. Everything that you can think of, everything that you need is right there without going to the actual mall. Once again, that's the Mall-in-One. You can find the Mall-in-One right here at communitypayitforward.us/shop. One of the other things that we've got, you guys know how I support Red Fridays. You can get some branded Red Friday products right there on our website. You can also get other things for the kids. We've belonging to a program now where you can help support Community Pay It Forward by showing your Community Pay It Forward. Get a new Red Friday shirt just by ordering it right there, and you tell us where you want the portion that we get back. You tell us where you want that to go. So we're going to get started now. Once again, this is with a interview I did earlier today with a great partner, a great sister, a great family member, Caroline Rasmussen of Pampered Chef. So I hope you really enjoy this. I don't know where she went. There she is. All right. So here we go with Caroline Rasmussen. I hope you enjoy this. And we will be back right after this with more. Hey everybody, I'm here with a great partner of mine, Caroline Rasmussen. How are you doing, Caroline?
I am great, Zach. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, this is a long time coming. You've been part of our program for a while now, since right before Christmas, right? Wasn't it? Or was it a little?
It might have been this spring.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know, with everything that we've had going on, it all kind of, it's 2021, 2022. It's all the same year. So everything's a little confusing. So
yes,
you are a salesperson for Pampered Chef, but you don't really call yourself a salesperson. You're an ambassador?
Oh, we call ourselves consultants.
What is the duties of a pampered consultant?
Well, basically, we have a way of presenting all the tools we offer. We've been around. It'll be 42 years next month. The Pampered Chef has been around, and we are a party-based type company, which means typically we'll do parties where a host will invite friends and have fun together. In the past, when it first started and up through the about 2015, 2018, somewhere in there, exclusively in home or just pass around a catalog. But the internet has created a great opportunity. And so now we also do them online. But we have top products, professional line products. But something that we add that a big box store wouldn't add is the personal touch. You have me. You always have my phone number to reach out to, whether you don't understand how to use something or something happens with it, or if you need a recipe. You're like, I bought this, it sounded really cool, but I don't know what to cook with it. If you buy something in a big box store, you're not going to be able to walk in that store and say, hey, what do I cook? They're going to look at you like, I don't know. I sold you the thing. That's all that my job is. And so we add that extra element of personal touch that allows you to reach out to me. One of our big sellers is the air fryer, and people will get it, but then they're intimidated by the air fryer. They don't know what to do with it, or they've cooked the chicken nuggets in it, and that's all great, and they reheated their pizza in it, but there's a spit in there so you can actually do a rotisserie. How does that work? So once you get into something, sometimes you think you know what you're going to use it for, and you don't. So we're here.
Yeah, my wife has a air fryer that has the rotisserie in it as well, and she ended up doing the Cornish game hens for my parents, and they were just so yeah, it's really neat, everything that you can do. Pampered Chef has pretty much anything for the kitchen, right?
Oh yeah, we run the gamut from everything from inexpensive little gadgets like our citrus peeler that's been around forever, and our scrapers that people absolutely love that don't stain and don't come apart and don't melt, all the way to our knives. We have a more quality knives, and we have cookware, everything from stainless, cast iron, stoneware, which we are known for. Pampered Chef was started with stoneware, and we have the variations of stoneware. Something we call the rock crock, which is actually ceramic but can be heated up to 724 degrees or something like that, which means it's safe on the grill and on the burner, so you can put it on the stove. But then we also have the professional line of cookware, and now we have appliances, which anyone who knows old school Pampered Chef, there was nothing electronic. Now we have appliances. We have a cooking blender. Yes, I said cooking and a blender in the same sentence. And then we have a air fryer and a cooker, which is basically kind of like an Instant Pot. However, it's slow cooker, pressure cooker, and a sous vide, which is kind of an extra cool thing. And we have a Flex Plus, which is a cordless mixer, emulsion blender, and food processor. So we have a lot of stuff.
One of the first things you said in that little sentence is that they don't melt. I'm not sure if a kitchen is complete without that knife, that somehow the handle of the knife fell on the burner and melted a little bit. I think every kitchen I've ever had, I've had one of those paring knives that somehow dishwasher or it had fallen on the burner. But you've got that it hurts a little bit to use it, but it's got its own, it's got a story behind it. So it's a great,
exactly.
So you and I, prior to starting this recording, we brought up one of the things that people think about one of the main excuses people have when you bring up Pampered Chef is the cost. What the cost is sometimes a little bit more than your regular box stores, but what would your rebut to that be?
Well, I think a lot of it is the old adage, you get what you pay for, first of all. I know a lot of people go to the discount stores to purchase cookware because they can get a skillet for $6.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not the same. I have a director on my team that thought she was a terrible cook. She thought that she burnt everything and she just couldn't cook. Guess what happened when she got cookware that actually conducted heat evenly? She realized she could cook. and it was the cookware and not her. So we offer the quality products and you'll buy it once. But here's the other piece. You may understand that cooking at home is less expensive. One thing that I've learned this year is it's 3 to 4 times more expensive to go out to eat. The markup on food at a restaurant is 3 to 4 times. So imagine taking your family of 4 out to a restaurant, and it's going to be easily, I mean, if you're going to a okay restaurant, you might get out of there for $100 if you're lucky. I mean, McDonald's starts to approaching $100 for 4 people sometimes, especially if you've got older kids who can't just get a Happy Meal. And sometimes it'll go to 150 just to eat out for 4 of you. Okay, that's one meal. If you invested in a few pieces that we have that help you cook at home, make it easier. I am the queen of 30 minutes or less in the kitchen for dinner. Okay, it's not about cooking all afternoon, right? Or setting it up at lunchtime or in the morning, and it's lo and behold, it's ready when you get home. If you invest that cost of going out to eat into a product, then you're actually cooking for your family for pennies on the dollar over and over and over again. And you're not having to run through a drive-through or go out at a restaurant. And it's so much better for you to control what you're eating. And then you add on top of that, Pampered Chef offers something that the big box stores don't. If you were to go to a big box store and you were to say, hey, my friends, I had 5 friends that came with me. They all spent $100. Can you give me a discount on my order? They're not going to give you a discount. They're not going to reduce the cost of your order or your purchase. Guess what happens with Pampered Chef when you have 3, 5, 10 people ordering? You do get a discount, and it's one of the best discounts out there, free and half price and 60% off. So you add all that together, plus the fact you get me forever. I've been doing this 11 years. You will have my phone number. So if you don't know what to cook in that thing that you bought because it sounded cool, but then you got it home and you're like, now what do I do? You can reach out to me. And you can't do that with a box store either.
You also do live. You also do some live events, right, on your Facebook channel, to where you take and you cook things live, or you introduce things live and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I have a business page and I will do live. In fact, I'll probably be going live this evening because we're going to have jambalaya tonight. We're going to make it in the multi-cooker. So I will be definitely going live to do that. And so, I'm going to try and I'm working towards at least once a week. Sometimes my life gets in the way of that, but yes, and there's a whole bunch of them already out there. That's the nice thing about the Facebook business page. You can go back and look at ones from the past.
I'm always
trying to teach.
How many times have you ever tried to cook something for like the first time? Do you ever
all the time?
Really? Okay.
I get bored. I don't cook it. My husband. I mean, usually it's more work for me to remember what I cooked before than to find a new recipe.
Yeah.
So I cook new things all the time, and I'm not afraid to cook new things live on camera, nor am I afraid to cook it for guests. So a lot of times I have friends over. I'm like, y'all are my guinea pigs. I've never made this before. And it always turns out fine. So yeah, I'm always doing new stuff.
That's actually kind of funny, because my wife would tell me, well, you know what? I'd have to cook something brand new, for the first time, because Zach, all you do is eat the same stuff over and over and over and over again. I'm a very, very boring eater. I am meat, potato. As I said earlier today, give me bratwurst and sauerkraut, and I could, Italian food or Mexican food. I'm done. I could eat same thing every month. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, just give me that every day of the week, year, whatever. I'm good. Every once in a while, throw in a blueberry waffle, but I'll eat those for dessert too. So, but yeah, my wife would have to, she would have to cook things, for the first time. You had mentioned that you get great discounts when you shop more than once. There's a lot of people, including Community Pay Up Forward. There are a lot of things out there that need money raised for them. You guys have a program to help with that as well.
Absolutely. That's kind of one of the best kept secrets with Pampered Chef, is people don't realize you can actually do a party as a fundraiser. So you can host a regular party, but instead of getting the discounts for the host, that turns around as a check directly to an organization. So Community Pay It Forward could be the beneficiary of a party anybody throws. I just need to know what's the address that I'm going to send that check to, and how does the check need to be made out, right? And it's 10 to 15% of the sales goes right to the beneficiary, which in your case would be, Community Pay It Forward. But the host still gets the host special for the month, which is usually a 60% off something specific. And so as a thank you, they still have the opportunity to get something for a discount.
Wow, that's really cool. How did and to be able to do that, all they need to do is call you, Carolyn?
Yeah, just contact me and I'll set it up. And we can do it as a full-on party, or just pass a link around and pass around catalogs, however the easiest way to do it is. And the really cool thing is, in the last 3 or 4 years, Pampered Chef has moved to all direct ship. So no longer are the days where the host has to pass out all the products after that's been ordered. They actually will ship directly to each individual, and they ship it as it's ordered. So what that means is we can keep that fundraiser open for an extended period of time, and the guests who are ordering are not waiting for their order when it closes. They're getting it all along the way, usually within a week. And so we can keep it open longer so that the fundraiser can grow larger, but not hold up everyone's order.
What made you decide, you know what, I've used this product, I like this product, that's it, I want to be part of this company?
It was 11 years ago, and my kids were much younger. They were.
There's a lot of stories that start out that way.
Yeah. So I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom. I have a degree in IT, and I was a professional in the world of corporate, and decided that when I had my first child, I was going to stay home. So I wanted to be here 100% present. But as my kids were getting a little older, I had one in elementary and one finishing up preschool, and headed to elementary later that year when I started with Pampered Chef. And I'll be honest, it was more of a why not? It was a heck, what do I have to lose? A couple of nights a month, my husband can put the kids to bed while I'm out hanging with women or men and talking to adults, and not have to do all the nightly routine. And instead of spending money to do that, I was making money to do that. So I thought, okay, I'll just do this for a little while. But it turned into way more than that. And now I've seen, after 11 years, I've changed lives. And I've changed lives from teaching them recipes to helping them buy products so that they could cook them easier and faster, to sharing the business, and sharing the business with people who didn't realize how much they needed it, and they completely changed. It is so helpful to have something that you're successful with, even for a short bit of time. Your self-esteem skyrockets. You learn skills. I didn't realize, after being out of the workforce for 6 or 7 years, I had lost the ability to speak in front of people. So I gained back those skills. I have more confidence. I've grown so much as a person in so many ways, between the training and selling and everything else. It's just an amazing company to work for, that my little why not turned into a really big why. And now my why is to change lives.
What kind of person is perfect for what you do? What kind of person would you say, you know what, as you mentioned, people, you can really recreate yourself after doing something like taking some time off. What kind of person would you say, you know what, let's talk, because I think you would be really good at this?
It's kind of funny because, a lot of people have specific targeted people that are their ones they're interested in. But I would say I was the kind of person that never hosted any parties and never wanted to have anyone over to my house to buy things so that I could benefit. So I get it. I never did that until I started looking more closely at Pampered Chef. Okay. And now I firmly believe this is something everyone should at least try. If you're not afraid of a little bit of work, and when I say a little bit of work or hard work, I don't mean time consuming or rocket science. I just mean you can't be passive, right? You can't just say, okay, everybody come to my business like you would anything else, right? But I own my own business. I have tons of support. I think anybody should try it. And this could fulfill, if you just need a little extra gas money right now, because it's a thing, or you need a car payment, or you need to pay for a kid's college. There's so many things that's, I mean, a couple $100 a month might be a lot to somebody, you know? So it could be anything. And it's a very low, almost no risk and a very low cost to begin.
Plus, you also have other things that, you know what, you open up your schedule. We were just talking about you, and you're getting ready to go to a football game. You know,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about asking your boss for the time off and doing all this other stuff. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to, you could always do a little bit of showcasing while you're there, you know? So
Yep.
it's one of those things that you can, and I'm not suggesting that people are always on, you know,
Right.
but, you know, when you're always on, people are like going, oh God, they're here again, you know, but it's one of those things that if somebody calls you and asks you, this is really one of those things that, you know, you can be in business at any point in time, can't you?
Yes, I can. And we're going to tailgate. And guess what? When I bring that vegetable tray and I bring that fruit salad, I'm going to bring it in a Pampered Chef product because it'll spur the conversation, right? But I don't have to be very in their face about it. They're just going to go, oh, cool. Where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Or when they ask me, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm with Pampered Chef. The first response you get probably 95% of the time is, I love Pampered Chef.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not difficult. Our best customer is anyone who eats. Right?
I know a couple of those people.
Yeah.
I know one of those people that eat like a couple of those people. So
yeah. So I mean, it's not limiting. It's not, you know, it's not specific. Even people who say they don't cook, they prepare stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, so and then they've always got people they got to buy gifts for and everything else. So everyone is a potential customer. So yeah, it's, to me, it's ultimate flexibility with a product I can stand behind with the opportunity to change lives. And I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
You guys have like weekly or monthly specials or something like that that you guys and you have a newsletter which tells people about things. You just sent us a newsletter about a couple of the things that are no longer going to be available, but right now there's a closeout on it. How do people get on that newsletter?
They just have to contact me and I'll add their contact information. It's actually, you know, kind of talking about the business in a way. It's a perk of the business. As long as I've got their contact information, that's something that Pampered Chef takes care of for us as part of our website cost each month, which is nominal. And that way, it automatically goes out. And you know, you responded to that to get schedule this today. So it's a way to keep yourself in front of people. But it's helpful. It usually has recipes and other stuff in there too. So yeah, if they want on there, just let me know.
Yeah, you just brought it up, so why don't you go on ahead and tell me when you become when you get with Pampered Chef, you get the website. What else do you get?
Tons of training. You have access to training. I'm always there. You know, the website you get for 90 days free, which includes everything you need to do your business. And they then after that, they just changed it, but I think it's like $12 or $15 a month. I mean, that's nothing for basically, you know, newsletters and website so people can place orders and a website where that actually has your name on it, that's personalized, all of that stuff.
That's actually then cheaper than a Wix website is every month. I know that for a fact. So
yeah.
I used to have a Wix website, and did they help you maintain that website, correct?
Yeah, most of it is done by them, and you just personalize it. And you know, as things change, it's changed for you. The other cool thing is when you purchase a kit, and we have multiple kits optional. The least expensive kit is $50. So you could start this business for $50, and you get a few products to get you started, so you could demo and everything else. Up to a kit. Again, they just changed these prices on me, so I'm having trouble remembering. Around $229, $250, something like that, which includes an electronic in there, and so you can get one of the appliances. and the product value is greater than the cost you're spending. They're deeply discounted. So you're winning before you even start. And then you can earn a paycheck on day one. So
do most of the items that you guys that you all sell, is there a warranty on them?
yes, everything has at least a 1-year warranty. And then the catalog would explain which has more. The appliances are 1 to 3 or 5 years, depending. It's an electronic, and that's pretty standard. And then we have knives and cookware that are lifetime warranty. The stoneware, I want to say, is a 3 or 5 years on the stoneware. You know, we have a really good warranty. And what's really awesome is Pampered Chef Home Office is what handles that. So you contact me, and I'm more than happy to contact them and get it taken care of. But they will take care of shipping it out. I don't have inventory. I don't have to do any of that stuff. Pampered Chef takes your information when you place your order. They have record of your order. You don't have to keep your receipt. They can, as long as it's under your email address or some way that they can go back and find it, they will look it up and say, yes, it's within the warranty period. Sometimes, like stoneware, knives, and stuff like that, a picture will work. Other times they want it back so they can see what in the world happens for future reference. But then they'll send out the new item. So it's really great.
See, I asked that question because, Carolyn, I have bought 4 can openers from Walmart in the last year alone. And it takes a little bit of all 4 to open a can of fruit. So it's ridiculous that, and it doesn't matter if you spend, $33 on one and $6 on the other, because none of them work. So, but anyway, so how do people?
I know where you could get a different one.
Do you? I think I do too. And I think what you and I need to do is I think that we should work on putting together an event for around the Christmas time, and maybe we can set up something to where we do a specific event, and we maybe partner this with doing our chili cook-off, which we're going to be announcing tonight. That's right. So here in a little bit. Just saying. But so if maybe we can take and do something because we're calling this the finally 5th annual chili cook-off and toy drive, because you know what? It's only taken us 2.5 years to do it. So due to COVID, but so we're getting back with our great friends at Key Largo, and we're having our chili cook-off, and this year we're adding something special to it. So maybe we're going to do a poker tournament as well.
Awesome.
So, but let's maybe talk a little bit more about that. But why don't you give us your contact information so people can get a hold of you?
Yeah. So my website is pamperedchef.com/PWS/ and then Caroline Rasmussen. And my name is spelled out on the screen there, so you can see exactly how to spell it at the bottom down there. And then my phone number is 214-454-7684, and you can text or call there. And that's probably the easiest way for me to, get you the rest of the information. So, and then my email address is culinarycarolyn@gmail.com.
You can also find Carolyn's landing page when you go to our Mall-in-One, because she is one of the very special partners that you go on there, and it's just like going to a mall, except for you don't have to go to a mall, because going to a mall is just annoying. I know this because I went to a mall the other day. My wife had to get her eyes done, so I decided, hey, I'm going to go and check this out.
Yeah, I was trying
anytime soon.
I was trying to find shoes for my son for homecoming, and we thought, well, we'll go by the outlet mall on Saturday and see what the outlet stores have. After driving around for 20 minutes and still not finding a parking place, we went someplace else.
You know what's really weird here in northern Colorado? Our outlet malls, it's on both sides of the highway of I-25. One side, there's like 5 stores in the outlet mall. That's it. The other side is full, and you can't find, like you said, you can't find parking anywhere. But then the one side that the outlet mall started, there's not a store one in it. You know, it's just weird. So it's schools, churches, and I think a Levi store, and that's about it. So, but so, and where can they find your wonderful shows that you put together?
So the shows I put together, hosts, they would contact me to host one. But the other thing would be to find Culinary Carolyn on Facebook. And so then you can find me on Facebook and follow my business page there, and just link up to that, and it's public. And then you can contact me or just watch and go back and look at old videos on there. Some are longer. Back in the day when Facebook was kind of just emerging, we were doing long videos, and we've gotten where we're recognizing that attention span is much shorter now. So I'm trying to keep them a lot shorter, but sometimes it's all out there on Facebook.
Well, speaking of a short attention span, as you guys have noticed, I've got a little friend here who thinks that she has to be played with at all times. So, you know, and she's just being a pain in the butt. So our you know, we were worried about somebody coming to your door, yet this thing all of a sudden decided that she had to play right now. So but anyway, so Caroline, it was great to see you. It was great to sit down and talk to you.
Yes.
I always enjoy this. Let's get together and let's do something around Christmas, and maybe help some kids who find themselves in the hospital around Christmas time.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Yes.
So once again, give them your phone number, and you don't mind text messages from people?
No, absolutely. That's usually the best way to get me. So yeah, my phone number is 214-454-7684. And I am in Dallas, but like I said, the way we're set up with the website and everything shipping directly, it doesn't matter. Anywhere in the United States works. You can ship anywhere. So it just has to be in the United States.
And where are you going to be tailgating, just in case somebody wants to come and see you?
I'll be in College Station, Texas, at the Texas A&M game.
All right. Well, there you go. So if anybody is planning on going there and watching the game, or even just going for the tailgate, look up Carolyn. She's going to be there. She's going to show you what she can do for you. So I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Please make sure that you visit Carolyn. She is a Community Pay It Forward partner. She's one of our wonderful family members that we've got here. And anytime that you make a purchase through us, you know what, that's just going to help somebody in the community who needs your help. So make sure you reach out to her. If you need an event, if you need an introduction, just get a hold of us here, 970-909-0751. I will happily introduce you to her, and you can raise money for your own cause. So Carolyn, thank you. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Everybody, Zach Clayton from Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. How you doing today? We're here talking to one of our newest mission partners, and we're extremely excited about this because we really believe in inclusion. We are now parents of a young man who has disabilities, so this is something that touches our heart. We're trying to get him into school right now, and so we're finding some of the stuff that Rich, you and Parent Advocacy Consortium, you guys are fighting for. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing, and how did all this get started?
Well, good day, Zach. Thanks for having us on. So Rich Ceruolo here from Parent Advocacy Consortium. We're just a small band of troublemakers. That's how we got started. We were parents who were tired of being kicked around by the school system and the system in general. We didn't like the way that IEP meetings would go, how our kids' civil rights would routinely be violated, and there was really no accountability. So we banded together, um, try to find a more motivated group of parents than ex-military, retired military, and active military families. You're not going to find anybody who's more motivated, right? So we get tired of having our kids treated unfairly. We banded together. We formed a coalition of folks who advocate locally at our school districts, train parents how to be better advocates in their child's meetings and with the school systems. We also work with our local legislature to change the way that the laws were written and to favor families and kids with disabilities.
There's personal opinion. I'm going to break this in here because, well, my show and who's going to stop me, I guess. But I don't understand why any of our military has to come back and fight for anything when it comes to school systems. They've given up of their lives for us to continue to do what we do. Yet it seems to me like military is always getting kicked in the teeth. Our veterans constantly get kicked in their teeth. Our first responders, they're getting their hands tied. Things just keep going. Things just keep getting pushed in the wrong direction for people who do good for us, while it seems opposite for people who are trying to overutilize the system. Are you yourself a veteran, Rich?
I am not. I am a military brat. My fellow co-founders, both one was a Marine and the other was an Air Force linguist, an interpreter. They are veterans during the Afghanistan and Iraq war years. So they wrote me into this, and I'm the last one standing because everyone's moved on to other things. Um, they have told me stories, and I've talked to other military families and folks who've just come back from deployment about how difficult it is just moving from state to state, let alone if you're overseas and your child has an IEP and you come back to the States and you have just the changes in the way services are delivered and IEP document are written. One of the things we like to do is get our folks assessments when they come back, because that's really important when you walk into a school building. They're supposed to, by law, provide your child with an assessment by a school approved provider. But unfortunately, a lot of them are not um, conducive to the family or the child getting the services the child really needs in the school building. So that's why we like to have that outside impartial expert come in and give their opinion and write a document that states this is what this child needs. And that's really helpful to them.
I myself am just a patriot. I am not a veteran. So I am right there with you. I talk to more veterans than who really have no reason to talk to me, but they understand that I really care about how things are going, and it's amazing when you're talking to these individuals who have peacetime, wartime, it doesn't matter. That stories that they've got, some of the hell that they have to go through just to do what they do, Rich, and you know this. I'm not telling you anything that you haven't heard. It's amazing some of the stuff that they have to go through. So I think that what you guys do is fantastic. What are some of the issues that you are, I want to say, fighting against when it comes to getting these children included in everything? What are some of the things what are some of your biggest battles?
Boy, how much time do you have?
Well, you know what? We got as much time. I guess we got about 35 minutes, but we got as much
Yeah,
time. I'll restart this recording to get the story out.
It's a great question because there's so much that you can
Right.
touch upon. Um, just getting these kids access to the assistive technologies that they need inside of a school building, you get pushback because you need a tablet for your child, and I can't run out and spend $900 on a device for my child. And I've gone through TRICARE, and they'll only pay a percentage of that. And how do I come up with the rest of the money while I'm paying for health care for my family and putting food on the table, a roof over their heads? So these are the questions that come up every day for military families and for non-military families as well. Not everyone's uh, as financially secure and able to pay for the variety of costs that come up when you have a child with disabilities. My gosh, medical treatments alone. Not everything's covered by healthcare. So, you've got a reading specialist, you've got an occupational therapist, you've got a someone working with their physical therapy, a variety of things that come up. There are lots of costs associated with that. And getting those kids what they need inside of a school building is a challenge, and paying for it outside of the school building is also a big challenge for families. So, the equity piece is always a big concern because there's the access to things like the school building and the playground. And, what if they go on a field trip and my child has to stay back at school because the place they're going is not wheelchair accessible or may not be conducive to them getting around safely? That kind of stuff comes up all the time.
Have you noticed that some of the organizations that are there to provide support for what you're fighting for, they're just flat out overrun because there are too few organizations that are there to try to support kids with disabilities?
Yes, yes, and yes. Uh, there's a lot of need out there. There's a lot of, my gosh, if you just look at the statistics of how many kids have disabilities in the country, it's overwhelming. And uh, the federal legislation, which is IDEA, was never fully funded by Congress. So the states are having to fill the need and the gaps that exist within those services being provided to the students and just citizens, at large, right? So, uh, things like accessibility to public spaces and services that folks might need. I mean, let's talk about mental health care in this country right now and the needs that are not being met um, locally through state agencies or just even at the county level. We're having police officers and firefighters do the jobs of psychologists, and that has to change. That whole dynamic has to change.
Yeah. Um, you are in uh, where are you located right now, and how far does your reach go?
So we're based out of Annapolis, Maryland, and we started locally here in Anne Arundel County around Annapolis. And our reach, because our families are so transient within areas because they get redeployed all over the world, we're now all over the place. There's not a continent that one of our members hasn't been deployed to at some point, and we have like-minded partnerships with other organizations and coalitions around other issues that we touch upon who are also in other countries that we work with closely, because these issues are not just here locally or within our country. They're global, definitely global.
So in other words, we've got an Air Force base just about 2 hours and 15 minutes from us in beautiful Colorado Springs. You guys can say, hey, you guys can hold the flag for parents with children who need your assistance there.
Absolutely. We're happy to help anyone across the country, again, military or non-military, and across the world. If we can help out in any way, guarantee we're going to have somebody who's local to that area who can render assistance and give some guidance, and maybe even know a couple of people that work within the school district that can help.
All right, perfect. Well, I want to show everybody a little bit how you can support everything that you're hearing about, and then we're going to jump back to you, Rich, because I have a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
What we've got going on here, they are part of our mission partners. They're one of our newest mission partners, and you come here to our mission partners tab on the website. You go down here, you can find them on the Community Cares Cub Club, or you can find them right here on Honoring Our Heroes, both country and community. You click on Learn More, and all of a sudden, any of the hero programs that we work with are right here on this page. And you will find right here, Parent Advocacy Consortium. You take and you scan your QR code right here. Okay, just scan it on your phone. If you're on your desktop or your laptop, you can go on ahead and click that. That's all you have to do. You can choose if you want to make constant support for this program. You can choose to add this to your home screen, and that way, anytime that you shop with one of our partners, it's very simple. You just take and you add it, you click on that and you send in your receipt, and that's all there is to it. So you can choose to add this to your home screen and continue to support Parent Advocacy Consortium. Remember, this is something that's very important, so I definitely suggest you consider that. When you open up the app, it looks like this. You can go here, and this is where you're going to be able to find every single partner that when you shop with them, they will give a portion of the sales back to us, where a huge percentage goes back to Rich, and they're able to continue to do their mission. And when I say huge percent, I'm talking we give back 80%. So, we're really trying to make a difference here. So you go here to this link and you can find any of our partners. What it does is it takes you to our verified partners page, so you can just go there if you want to look through the website. Once you shop with these partners, you simply take a photo of the receipt if they give you a paper receipt or invoice. If they send it to you electronically, we have a place where you can browse, where you can down or upload it to this file. So just click the file, click the receipt or invoice, and then just give us your name. If you would like to dedicate this receipt, dedicate this donation to somebody, you can put in a dedication, and we will make sure that Rich and his group knows that this is dedicated to a certain person. Then we ask for your email, your phone number, your address, and this is a very quick button. This is the only thing that we just ask of you. Can we add you to our email list or text message list or our mailing list? All above or no, thank you. We accept whatever you choose. So again, you find a partner, you utilize that partner, you take a picture of the receipt or you upload the receipt, give us this very brief amount of information, and then you click submit. That's all you have to do. That's it. Once you do that, Rich and his group gets 80% of whatever those organizations, those businesses send us as a referral award. So you shop with them, you get to support this wonderful, wonderful mission simply by shopping with our partners, our community pay it forward verified family member partners. So we do encourage you to download any and all receipts or any and all apps that we have. We've got a different app if you want to have our partners at your fingertips at all time, or we've got one of these codes for all of our mission partners. So if you've got a specific one that you're looking for, if you want to give us a call, I'll send you a text to it. But right now, we are talking to Rich Ceruolo of the Parent Advocacy Consortium. One of the other questions I had for you is what we all know that you guys, we all know that money is the thing that is needed the most. What else can parents do to support what you're doing?
Well, definitely funding projects like this, where we're giving assistive technology and assessments to the kids that need it the most, and to folks in our community that need it the most, those with disabilities. Um, the other things that people can do is their time. And if you see a cause that's near and dear to your heart, I would ask folks to get involved with their local government, either at the local county level or the state level, and let folks know what you're passionate about. If your passion is helping other people, specifically those who have been marginalized for decades, like kids with disabilities, please, on their behalf, be the voice that they themselves cannot be.
What kind of what sorts of volunteering would you guys need? Like if somebody is in Colorado Springs and they would like to help you guys in a ground root, in a ground root way right there in Colorado Springs, how can they help you?
That's a great question. Something that I'm working on right now with a couple of individuals is establishing a peer mentoring and tutoring program where we can have military families and non-military families tutoring each other's kids. A lot of high schools have community service hours that they need to fulfill each year. And it's a great way to connect with the community, those around you, and to help another kid who may be struggling with math or reading. That's a really nice way. Another way you can help out is if you have a local food pantry, you'd be surprised at the amount of families who were service members who have a hard time every month, meeting their bills, and they utilize the food pantry in their local community quite a bit. If you can give your time or some items to that pantry, it makes a big difference.
Um, and you guys have a deal with you guys have a deal with most of those food pantries already. So you guys, all you have to do is get to them and you guys can get support from the kids or for the kids.
Yeah, something that's something that we've been fostering around this particular part of the state, and we're working on hopefully expanding that. Is the folks that are, because we've got the naval base right down here, the Naval Academy. Any families that are on the base and maybe living off base that need those supports, we give them the resources and the links to the local food pantries and the hours. A lot of them are only open 1 or 2 days a week, and they only have a couple of hours of service available because of the lack of volunteers. So we try to help facilitate that. The other thing we've done is we work with sororities in the area to get gift cards for those families so that they have money in their pocket when they go to buy groceries.
So we're looking at your Facebook page right now. What do you guys try to? How do you work towards keeping your Facebook page updated? What kind of things are you looking for to help you maintain your Facebook page? What kind of things would you like people to send you if they see see something that maybe they feel like it's not up to code?
Great question. So that has been me for a while. There's a couple of other admins who check on it, but it's me with the content. But most of the folks that are out there now in our community take care of updating it every day. They do a really nice job sharing things that are important to them around education, around special education, and just kind of community happenings. If you see something that doesn't look right to you in your community and you think it's maybe a violation of someone's civil rights, you know, by all means, please let us know and we'll bring some focus to that and see if we can't direct some resources toward fixing the problem.
I love seeing things like this, advocating for Kids Inc. You obviously are working with other groups, and you really want
We
to
are.
make sure that you keep, we keep the conversations going. One of the worst things that can happen to people is we start a conversation and then we wane away from it. The shiny squirrel syndrome, if you will. We start something really well, really great, really impactful, and then all of a sudden we're just like going, nah, okay, and you move on from it. So if you have more than one group, and obviously you guys are working quite a bit with this group, so what other kind of groups are you guys working with? who are the groups that you wish you could get into contact with so people can try to make a connection?
Sure. We always work on building our network. So the particular group there that you spotlighted, which is Cheryl Poe down in Virginia, she's a really strong advocate for kids down in Virginia Beach area. She's got a lot of military families as well. Um, any group that is disability rights focused is focused on things like dyslexia, specific learning disability like dyslexia. Folks that work toward just protecting the civil rights of disabled citizens or anyone with an injury is definitely a focus to us, an interest, and we'd like to partner with them and to build on our network so that we can provide resources in those communities that they may be based in.
Okay, and Rich, how do people get a hold of you if they would like some more information?
Well, they can certainly reach out through our Facebook presence. I'm also on LinkedIn and I have a Twitter account, which I probably should use more. And they, of course, they can always email me.
And then we will put a little flash on the bottom of the screen with your email, but can you go on ahead and spell that out for us real quick? Give us your email for people.
Sure, it's Rich, Rich Ceruolo, Ceruolo, all one word, at gmail.com.
You know what's kind of funny? You mentioned Twitter and how you should probably be a little bit better on Twitter. Twitter's the one that I'm good at, okay? And it's funny because I always forget. My two sons who are in their 20s. One of them's darn near in his 30s now, so I don't know when the hell I got old enough to have a 30-year-old son. I don't know how that happened, but it did. But yeah, I'll forget that I'm under Community Pay It Forward or the pACT channel, and he'll put something out there, and I'm like going, "Wow, I just responded that as the company," and I forget to switch, switch profiles every once in a while. So
Sure.
I get in trouble with that, but yeah, I'm a huge fan of Twitter because it's just quick hits. You can get in, get out, and move on. So, um, have you found from other countries that they're having the issues with this? We know that there are certain countries that who are we to say somebody's doing something right or wrong, but I will. There are certain countries that are just they're terminating pregnancies when children have certain disabilities. And it's not, disability does not mean dead. Disability means that they have special, something special to work through. If anything, I think disabilities make people stronger in a lot of ways because they have to learn they have to learn how to deal with things even in a different way, and they generally have to learn about those by themselves because there's not a lot of people who can teach them how, what they're going through. They have to deal with it on their own. But have you found that there's other countries that are going through these issues?
What I will say is there are other countries that handle folks with disabilities better than we do, and there are some who, like you said, do not. Um, what I will add to that also is that because we have a disability doesn't mean we're unable to be productive members of society. Albert Einstein is a famous dyslexic. His brain was wired differently than everyone else, and because of that, we have the theory of relativity and some of the greatest physics that's ever been done by somebody who was working part-time as a patent clerk. He was a terrible student because he was dyslexic. Great example, right? Where would the world be if Albert Einstein had never been born because he had dyslexia or was, cast off and sent to live off on his own in the, in the wilderness because he was different.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's actually really amazing when you look at that because Nikola Tesla, he
Tesla's a great example.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very, very brilliant. As a matter of fact, once again, my opinion, even better inventor than anybody else at his time. And yes, that includes that other guy.
Hey, Edison took over credit for a lot of Tesla's work.
Yeah, the thing is that Edison took credit for a lot of other people's work. So,
Yes,
but because he funded it, it was
he
his.
had the money. Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but disability, I think that and I'm very happy to say, I think we're coming to the point where we're starting to realize that, you know what, disability is not a death sentence. Disability is is a challenge, is all it is. But I mean, we really need people to understand that if somebody looks a little bit different, or somebody uses an implement a little bit differently than we do, it just means that they're doing things a little bit different. I mean, it's no different than the way that I walk is different from the way that you walk. I mean, the truth is that we're all different, and that's what we need to look at people with these disabilities as, is that they just do things a little bit different. It doesn't make them an alien, and I'm glad that we're getting to that point, but we're not getting there quick enough, are we?
No, if we're going to have a society that's built on true equity, whether someone has an ability or a disability should be seamless and shouldn't make a difference to anyone in any forum, right? Whether it's education or society, or just in a working environment. So you go to your job and you do your job just like anyone else, because you've been given the access, and the playing field has been leveled to the point where you and your neuro diverse community and your neuro typical community can all coexist and not have that be a problem. It's seamless, and it doesn't make really that big of a difference. It's just everyone does what they need to do, and an equal platform.
Well, Rich, I'm going to tell you something. When you and I spoke, uh, was it earlier in the week? The first time we spoke was Monday, was it not? Or was
Was it
it
this?
Friday?
Maybe it was last week.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. It was Thursday or Friday of last week, and then
Yeah.
I was unable to check my email before Friday ended. I woke up on Monday morning and boom, I saw, because that excited me so much, because when I talked to you, just what you're doing is so close to what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that people understand, we say it every time. There's only one race, and that's the human race. And even though we all do things a little bit different, even though we all look a little bit different, some of us are uglier than other people. That's fine. We understand that. We're still the same, and we need to work towards that. So I am so happy that you guys have chosen to allow Community Pay It Forward to be a small part of what you guys are doing, because we want to spread the word on what you guys are doing, because it's so important. And we do want to remind you, you can view them under the mission partners. Just go to the Cub Club, or you can go to our heroes, both country and community, because this is a veteran organization. This is working towards child inclusion and inclusion for disability. So please, if you have any questions, please make sure that you reach out to Rich. Once again, it's under the Facebook group Parent Advocacy Consortium. So you can go there. We do have it linked from the website. Rich, one more time, give us your email, please.
So you can reach me on Gmail. Um, my email address is Rich, R-I-C-H, last name Ceruolo, Ceruolo @gmail.com, all one word.
All right. Well, Rich, I want to tell you again, we are so proud to have you as part of the Community Pay It Forward family.
Thank you. And we appreciate, the opportunity to partner with you all and like-minded organizations if they want to join forces with us and fight for the civil rights of disabled veterans and kids with disabilities. Please jump on board.
Yep. So if you guys have any ideas, if you guys have any questions, I encourage you to please reach out to Rich. But this is just one more example of what we say. Nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. So thank
That's
you
right.
very much, Rich.
Thank you.
Again, we've spent this last half an hour talking to Rich Ceruolo, one of the founders and one of the leads at the Parent Advocacy con- uh, Consortium. Thank God I talk for a living, right? So, but if you have any questions, please reach out to me, 970-909-0751. I can help you get a hold of him, 970-909-0751. Always go to communitypayupforward.us, and you can find any of these interviews right there. And you can reach out to these great people because they're great people doing great things. We will be right back with more of our show. So thank you very much. Rich, have a great
Thank
day.
you, Zach. You too.
There it is. There it is, and there were half of I was. So that's the information about the 2002 finally fifth annual Chili Cook-Off Toy Drive and Texas Hold'em tournament. So added the Texas Hold'em tournament because you know what? Not everybody likes football. Let's be honest. There are some normal people out there who prefer hockey over football. I know that's weird to see here. Okay, so I'm the only one who prefers hockey over football. I get it. I get it. I understand. But still, I'm people too. Ish. Um, Rich Ceruolo, great interview. There are so many great points in that man's interview. And when you go to communitypayitforward.us, that interview is going to be the first thing that pops up within 8 seconds. I encourage you to go back, watch it again, watch it right here, rewind this show, watch it again. Go onto the website, watch it, go into the archives, watch it, whatever you have to do. There is so much good going on with that group that can really change a lot of children's lives. Okay. No one should be left out ever. No one should ever be left out, no matter what challenges they have to overcome. Rich and his group are in the forefront to try to make sure that does not happen. I got one last interview for you guys, and then that's going to be it. We've got this last one with Shane Hicks, the Superman, with Reboot VA. And it's not the VA hospital, so partly because I don't know if you could reboot that and make it worthwhile anyway. I know that it's devastating to a lot of veterans, and that's something that maybe should be taken a look at with everything coming up. Hopefully, maybe somebody will do that. But just to let you guys know, this weekend here in Greeley, Colorado, once again, we have our yard sale. Everybody, Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, the PACT channel, and One Hope Wine, Community Pay It Forward, August fundraiser. We are here with my friend Superman, Shane Hicks. I just wanted to leave it at Superman, but you know, I'll give you the Shane Hicks as well. But from Reboot VA, you can visit them at rebootva.org. I'm sorry, and when they go to rebootva.org, Shane, what are they going to see?
A website that we are going to be updating very soon. But basically, the focus of rebootva.org is to assist veterans build businesses through networking. And that's what we do.
And you do this with a veteran's edge, but you do not have to be a veteran to join.
So there are a few parts to what we do. So the nonprofit, what we have is a program that helps veterans build their businesses through networking. It starts out with a curriculum, 5 classes, one on accounting, which helps them set up things like bank accounts and how to do the books for their business. We have a finance class. We have a business insurance class. We have a class on marketing and advertising. We have a business capstone class, which does some finalization of what they might want to do. And then they get 5 more courses with me where I help them set up, build, and maintain networking groups. We're partnered with 2 organizations. One is called BNI, the other one is called Master Networks. And we have the ability to help veterans establish official BNI and Master Networks chapters, but all of them have a focus on being Reboot VA, a heart for helping veterans. And then what you alluded to earlier, when we build these chapters, businesses that are not part of the nonprofit sponsored program, they can join as members of these networks that we're setting up, and then they get all of the benefits and privileges of being part of the networking group.
Why did you choose to build a nonprofit around networking?
So it's a long story, but to make the long story short, I've been medically retired for 21 years. Facebook informed me of that just last week. And what happened was early in my military career in hand-to-hand combat training, I took a blow to the head that gave me a concussion, tore both of my retina, and also resulted in traumatic brain injury. They moved me to Fort Sam Houston. And after 3 surgeries, the Army told me that I was being separated. Not retired, separated. And it took 2 veteran service organizations, Disabled American Vets and the Texas Veteran Commission, and an attorney on retainer for a year to fight and win retirement. Now, during that time, it was me, my unemployed military spouse, and a $200,000 mortgage that we weren't quite sure how we were going to pay. I didn't have the knowledge, skills, and abilities, the support at the time to know with traumatic brain injury and some of the things that come with it, right? Some mood shifts and forgetfulness and things like that. I really couldn't go work for someone regularly anymore. I had to figure out what residual capacity I had and what I was going to be able to do. Well, I came up with some things along the way, and I found that by going to networking groups like BNI, like Master Networks, it was very helpful to make the connections I needed to succeed in business. Well, wouldn't it have been awesome if, when all of that was happening to me 21 years ago, if someone that knew how to build chapters, how to set up businesses, and how to grow those businesses through networks, wouldn't it be cool if someone had that ready for me? And even better, when I didn't know what paycheck was coming, when I was trying to get back on my feet, wouldn't it have been cool to know that there was a hand up that if I couldn't afford a business license or if I couldn't afford the networking group, that there was someone there that could help me do that. Well, I actually took out the domain Reboot VA 10 years ago. That's how long I've been wanting to do it. And it's only been over the last couple years that I felt myself financially stable and networked enough where we could do the nonprofit and I could give it the attention and focus that it needs.
Reboot VA does not, this is not directed at the VA hospitals or the
Not
VA
at,
system at all.
no, not at all. In fact, sometimes there's some confusion. People think, you know, I've even heard it referred to as Reboot the VA, and that's
Right.
not it. It's
I've actually made that, I've made that mistake a couple times and stopped myself in the middle of it. What? Reboot VA.
Yeah, because it actually stands for Reboot Veterans Assistance. The reboot came from the fact that I was taking off my combat boots and putting on a new set of boots. I was also in the IT business. So rebooting is how you get everything fixed and you start over, right? Reboot and then veterans assistance.
Okay. Again, you know, this is one of those things that let's go on ahead and focus real quick and tell them why you were separated from the Army. Explain the injury.
What details would you like?
Well, just a story on what happened as you being as you were a hand-to-hand aficionado. I guess aficionado is not. You were a hand-to-hand warrior, and you took a rap upon the skull.
Yes,
you'd already mentioned the. And why did the Army treat you like, okay, well, you have no usable service for us, so jog on. Why did they do that?
Okay, so the things that actually happen, so there's a ton of symptoms that are associated with it. One of the things that the reasons they decided I was no longer deployable was after the third surgery, part of the disability included optical migraines. And so light, sound, and stress, right? Not like a combat environment would ever put you in any stress, right?
No way. You guys have guns.
Causes these weird migraines. So what happens is I see these clouds on the outside of my vision, followed shortly by electrical bolts. And then if I don't stop doing whatever it is I'm doing, causing those electric bolts, I get the nausea, I get the vertigo, I get the pain and the headaches that normal people get through migraines. However, because it triggers in my optic center, I go snowblind. So 100% white field of vision, seeing nothing. The last time it happened, I was actually traveling to Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska, had just gotten off the plane, had gotten in a rental car to drive to the hotel that I was staying at for the next 3 weeks. I was supposed to be stationed there for 3 weeks, and I triggered in the middle of the highway. So the lightning bolts started, the clouds started, and I was like, oh no, it's coming. And I was able to make it over to the side of the road right as the whiteout happened. And I sat there for 3 hours.
Yep.
And then once that came back, I found out when I got to the hotel, the floaters had returned and I had to have an additional surgery because I had actually repopped the left eye. I've now had 5 surgeries. Oh, and the VA just told me a couple of months ago when I went in for my evaluation that the right eye is clouding over again, and I'm going to have surgery 6.
What it's such an infuriating story. I love this story because you built something off something that I know how difficult it is with the TBI. I myself, the same things that you just said are the same things that I go through all the time. I always tell people that, I couldn't go out and get a real man's job because I don't know when I'm going to be awake. I don't know, like you said, I don't know what kind of mood I'm going to be in. And, and then my triggers, of course, are also, light stress, and just all time of treatment. I'm in my final third of my treatment rotation right now, so everything is doing exactly what you said. Things are getting harder to focus on, not because I'm having a harder time focus, or not because I'm not focusing, because I'm having a hard time, as you just saw with that question, focusing on everything that's coming in at once,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's just so I did exactly what you said. And I went to work for the biggest jerk I know, but the biggest jerk I know, I can kind of control him sometimes, and so that's what I tell people all the time. So
I
um
think
that's
what
one of the
what
reasons why I love what you're doing so much.
I think what hurts me or bothers me the most is that, um, number one, I always have a heart first of taking care of other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's with me all about honor, right? I will always do what I say I'm going to do, no matter what the cost to me. I will always keep my word. But where I struggle lately is I've always been good at talking. I'm good at leading the networking groups. I'm good at those things. And my brain reboots now in the middle of me talking about whatever. And sometimes I lose my way as a leader. When I'm up in front, I have that responsibility and the pressure sometimes when I'm in the middle of telling a story or I'm trying to relate, and the brain reboots and I lose track and I forget what it was we were talking about or the point that we were headed towards. And it gets harder and harder every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the concern, that I have is where that's headed. It's scary sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, our paths of the head issues are definitely quite different. But everything that you say, it's kind of one of those things that I just sit here and shake my head. Yep, 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 yep. I understand. I'll be in a convenient, or I'll be in, like, we'll just say, the last time it happened to me, I was in a Safeway. And somebody finally came up to me, somebody who worked there, and tapped me on the shoulder and asked me if I was okay. And I'm like, um, I'm a little confused, but yeah, I'm fine. And they go, "You realize you've stood in the same position for 45 minutes?" And I'm like, "Did I? I'm sorry." And they're like, "We're going to have you come and sit down." They gave me water, and they were about ready to call the ambulance. And I'm like, "No, don't do that." I had to talk them out of it. It's a good thing that I know the people as well as I do there, because, it was just one of those things. But yeah, I was standing there for 45 minutes and I had no idea I was doing it. It seemed to me like it was a matter of seconds that, I lost my way. So I'm sitting there trying to focus in my mind, go through, remember everything I had to do. And the only thing I could remember is, you got to go to the store. You got to go to the store. That's all I could remember. So, having those issues for people, you know, you and I discussed this once before, and I really think this is so important for everybody out here to remember. One of the things that really affects us as people with brain injuries is, you break your arm, they're going to put your arm in a splint. They're able to do it to everybody the exact same way. You break your arm, up top, they're going to be able to fix it up top. Down bottom, you're going to be able to fix it down bottom. You break your brain, there's no way to figure it out completely. We throw so, and you tell me, Shane, do they throw everything at you just trying to find something that sticks?
They actually, so I refer to it, right, as practicing
Yep.
medicine.
Yep.
They tried to medicate me 7 ways from Sunday. And there was at one point where I had hand tremors so bad, I literally could no longer feed myself.
Mm-hmm.
And they had me on one where I could literally, in my mind, picture a burning log fireplace, but yet not articulate a single word to describe what was in my brain. I could not get words out.
Yeah.
And I think what most here's what I get a lot that people should know. Okay. Number one, not all injuries of disabled veterans are visible.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if it was a burn, or if I had lost a limb, or if something like that had happened, people would know, right? But with traumatic brain injury, some of the issues are mood shifts. Well, I can't necessarily control 100% of the time where I'm at, whether it's an anger side or whether it's a crying side. People that don't understand what's going on don't understand the mood, and they think I can just snap out of it or that I control it. That's tough.
Oh,
Another thing that's been communicated to me is that, oh my gosh, there are so many government programs out there. There's so much money that is available to veterans. You don't need this nonprofit. You don't need support. It's already there for you. But what they don't realize is that, sure, there are programs out there, but it's made incredibly difficult to get. And if you don't know who to talk to or how to go for it, one of the most common phrases surrounding the VA is deny until you die, which is you can file for the benefits, but they will come up with some reason, one reason after another, not to grant it. All the while, the veteran is struggling with whatever it is that's going on, and they're not getting the help they need.
yep. And I would just like to add one of the other things that that happens to me quite often is, you're just being a jerk today. And it's like, no, I'm really not. I absolutely do not mean to be. That's not, you know, that's not what I mean to do, in any way, in any shape nor form. That's not what I'm trying to do. But there are just simply times when stuff comes out, you don't have any control of it. And it sucks.
I have simply learned. So at this point in my life, I have no ego whatsoever. And I always do my best to be the bigger person. And I always apologize first.
Oh yeah.
I am sorry if I made you feel that way. It was not my intent. It's just what it is.
That's exactly it. Shane and Reboot VA, their nonprofit side is part of the Community Pay It Forward program. They are one of our mission partners, and it's very, very simple. You take and Shane's, I'm not sure if you've got it up on your website yet or not, but you're going to find this QR code right here. Okay. You scan this QR code, and it's going to take you directly to a page that looks something a little like, oh, of course, I've got to stop sharing the screen first. Jeez. But anyway, you share that QR code, and then let me get back to it now. It will pop up to this page right here. Eventually. Okay. It'll pop up to this page right here, which is to support Reboot VA. And I need to edit the name, it looks like, because I didn't make it one word. Very simple. You click on this link right here, you go to all of our partners, every partner that we work with that's going to give us a referral fee. Okay. You take a picture of that referral fee, or if they give it to you electronically, you upload the receipt, the proof of purchase. All you got to do is you have to take and upload the receipt right here. Then we just simply need your name. Okay. Put your name in here. If you would like to add your address, that's fine. If you would like to dedicate this receipt in the name of, please do. I've put in this area quite often to those who have served. Then we ask for your email so we can return an email to you with the proof that the money's been sent to Shane and Reboot VA. We ask you for your phone number, and then we ask you if we can put you on our mailing lists, email, text message, or physical mailing list. Then you simply hit submit. Okay, so once again, less troubles than what it is. You scan that QR code, take a photo or upload your receipt, put your name and your email. Those are the only things that are mandatory. Hit submit. And Shane and Reboot VA will get a portion of whatever is sent to us. They get 80% of everything that comes our way. So make sure that you try to find that QR code and help them out. But right now, for the next 10 days, Shane is part of our August One Hope Wine Community Pay It Forward program. Shane, what can this money from these wine sales do for you?
So we operate very similar to what you said. So 90% of the funds that come in actually pay the cost. So our nonprofit funds the BNI membership, funds the Master Networks membership. So we pay full cost. We don't get a price break on the memberships for the veterans. So that's where that funding goes, to pay their 1-year membership in those organizations.
Okay. How did they find out more about Reboot VA, Shane?
The greatest way right now is just to go to the website, which is rebootva.org or rebootva.com. We own both, and they point to the exact same page, so there's no confusion.
We actually, like you, we own communitypayitforward.com as well. Just because that way, if I screw up, I don't have to go, no, don't go to .com, don't go to .com. We own it.
Yeah, people always type that as a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I actually encountered two different things. I had some that were typing .com, right? But then they were confused because in their mind, a nonprofit should not be a .com, it should be a .org.
Yep.
Then we ran into another issue where my web person had created our security certificate, right? So when you click and you give a donation or something, you like to know you're going to a secure site. However, he coded our security certificate to the .com.
Oh, no.
So I had to push people to the .com so they felt secure, but the .org and the .com are the identical same site.
Yeah. So just do remember that you do have the two choices, and they're both going to take you to the same place. But the official site is rebootva.org. So, and see, all this talk about .com got me all confused. So, but my shiny squirrel is very rampant today. Let's just put it that way. That little thing is running all around the place and popping up in weird places. So, Shane, what is your, and I should have warned you about this. Can you give me what your favorite quote to follow is?
Oh, wow. It's tough because it will probably come across It's better more for commercial stuff than it is for the nonprofit stuff, but I'll explain it, right? So my greatest mentor at one point said, do the things that make you money, allow others to do the things that don't. Now, here's the philosophy. Why did I start a nonprofit that helps veterans build networking groups? Because I found out that was what my skill set and my residual capacity allowed me to do. But now what happens when I get a veteran that needs help with their VA paperwork? I refer them to one of my veteran service officers because that's what they do.
Right.
Or what if I have someone that needs to have their paperwork reviewed legally? Well, then I refer them to someone in my network that is what they do. So I've spent the last 10 years of my life, and it's what I did in the military too, right? I was a commander. So I would have staff call and I would recognize what the strengths of my staff NCOs were. Allow them to operate towards their strengths. Allow them to do the things that make them money, right? My job was to catch heat from the colonel. So I did the things that I was supposed to do. I allowed them to do the things that they were meant to do, and we were all successful together. That's my life's philosophy.
I love that. Mine is, mine has always been from one of my heroes, which is Theodore Roosevelt, and it simply states, if you could kick the person who in the pants that has caused most of your problems, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week. And I really think that that's one that, I love that just because of what it is. It's the truth. You get in your own way. I'm talking to an individual right now who could have just sat there and, I tell people all the time, I could be sitting there watching soap operas and eating bonbons. I'm a fat guy. I would have loved the hell out of that. But helping people is more important. And I love talking to you, Shane, because you and I, we do have like mind and like programs. And we are so proud to be a little part of what you do. Once again, tell people how to get a hold of you, and let's make sure that people get in contact with Shane when you want to do something special for the veterans.
So, first of all, the website again is rebootva.org. You can email me at info@rebootva.org. And you can also text me on my personal cell phone, 210-379-5311. And I like our tagline for the nonprofit, rebootva.org, for those that want to do more than say thank you for your service.
I absolutely love that. I truly do. And you're talking to a guy who thanks more people for their service than, just about anybody in the world. I try to thank everybody I can, because I truly do believe that I would be nowhere without their service. So, but Shane, I appreciate the time. We will continue with this month, and then after that month, we'll continue even further with the Community Pay It Forward program. So it's great to have this relationship with you, and I look forward to doing some wonderful things with you in the future.
Appreciate your support.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll be right back with more from the Goddess of the Grape, Stephanie Samos. finally, 5th annual Chili Cook-Off and Toy Drive is on its way. November 13th. Once again, this is at Key Largo Lounge. We've done it 5 years now. Well, we will be doing it 5 years now. It's only taken us 7 years to do it. 5 years. Not our fault. Not our fault at all. It's just kind of the way things went. You know, you've been here the last 2 years. You know how things went a little goofy. Let me tell you a little bit more real quick about what we're doing, and then I'm going to go eat. I'm a fat guy. That's what I do. I eat. The Chili Cook-Off and Toy Drive, we started this as a way to deliver activities to kids in Northern Colorado hospitals that were not in Children's Hospital. Why not Children's Hospital? Because everybody from 1%er motorcycle groups to the Shriners to everything else give to the kids in Children's Hospital. Thank you for doing that. God bless, because you know what? Those kids deserve it. They're going through hell, and you're making their lives better. But our kids in normal hospitals should not have to suffer just because they're not as sick. So I started talking to Soterios about 7 years ago, and we decided, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do a chili cook-off. Let's make it special, and let's make it about the kids right around Christmas time. This way, anytime any of children need to go and spend time in one of the wards there in one of the Northern Colorado hospitals, they have something. They know that we're there for them. They know that they don't forget. One of the other great things about what we do is we collect games, you know, board games and stuff like that for the family rooms, because it's no fun for anybody there. So, you know, little brother, big brother, they're there to visit. Mom and dad are occupied. Well, this gives them activities to keep themselves a little occupied as well. So one of the things that we're asking you to donate, and due to health regulations, we have to be very, very much a stickler for this, okay? They have to be unopened. They cannot be stuffed animals that have no, you know, that aren't open. All toys must be unopened in original packages. Books, game books, stuff like this works perfect. We've also got art supplies, journals. This is where we have been talking to Alistair, who is one of our wonderful partners, about her journals, how they could make an impact on this event. We're going to be bringing her back on as soon as I can to talk a little bit more about her journals. Matter of fact, tune in on Friday. We're going to replay that. We're going to replay that interview, and you can find out more about those journals. What we're going to do is we've also got a couple other books that we have that can go to these children. Baxter the Bat Dog. We have some books. Well, we have some more books that we'll be explaining later. But all these books, what we ask you to do is purchase one of these books from the authors that we work with. When you purchase these books, you can take and sign the inside of the book and donate it to us. Leave, you know, to blank from the Clayton family. Get well soon. Then we can give it to the nurses, and when somebody comes in, age-appropriate book, they can put their name in it, and this child thinks that, knows, not thinks, knows, that this was specially given to them from you. Very important project, very meaningful. And as a guy who's got to walk around on Christmas Eve 4 years, this year being 5, and deliver these to these wards, there's nothing like the surprise that these nurses have on their face when you show up with gifts and you remember that these kids Although they're not as sick as the kids that are in the children's hospital, they're still sick, and we didn't forget them. We didn't forget the hard work that the nurses do. Remember the nurses too when you're donating. Remember the nurses. Remember the doctors. Throw in a little gift for them. We'll make sure that they get evenly dispersed throughout the 8 Northern Colorado hospitals. Okay? Hey everybody, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and the founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. We invite you to join us again on Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain. That's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Do I get that right? Yeah, Pacific. It's right over there. Yeah, that's Pacific. So right back there is Eastern. I know. Oh, that's Central too. Is back that way too. So, but 2 Mountain, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, Lucky Ducks, 1 Pacific. Join us on Friday, and we're going to be talking more about the event coming up, the Chili Cook-Off and Toy Drive. Where once again, I'm going to be replaying Alistair's video and introducing you to her wonderful gratitude journals. I think it's a perfect match, and I think it's going to go very, very well with what we're trying to do. Please, everybody, please make sure that nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. It's getting cold again. If you have old clothes in your closet that don't fit, and you come across somebody who's dealing with the elements, throw them a hoodie. Throw them an extra blanket. You're not using it, put it in the hands of somebody who it can save their life. You make too much food for dinner, throw it in the old hillbilly Tupperware, an old butter bowl. Heat it up, send it to somebody that you know is struggling for food. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. My name is Zach Clayton, once again, president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. Please make sure that you're helping someone, because if you're not helping someone, you're hurting us all. Thank you very much. Have a great day. We will see you on Friday.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home, out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.